Field trip?
Mhm.
You do not recognize the bodies in the water.
By order of the Overseer Council, the following file describes a Keter-class anomalous cognito-hazard and is level 42316 classified. Unauthorized access is forbidden.
Almost 420.
Cognito
Item
hazard
number.
means.
2316.
I believe cognito
Level 4,
hazard
secret.
means that it's some
Containment
sort of
class,
like illusion or like directly
Disruption
affects your
class,
senses.
Kennick. And
And
risk
messes with your head,
class,
basically.
Danger.
The following file contains images and text that are carriers for anomalous cognito-hazardous influences.
You do not recognize the bodies in the water.
Due to this, it is imperative that all personnel accessing this file be certified as
Why
having
was
a
that in a
cognitive
different
resistance
voice?
value,
What?
CRV,
You have to
of no less
remember,
than
you do not
14.5.
recognize the bodies in the water.
If you fail an automated CRV verification, please remain calm and do not move. A member of your site's medical staff will be
Why
with you
does this just
shortly.
remind me of the
Please repeat
Mandela
the following
catalog?
very
I think
slowly
that's
and
what it
clearly
was
into your
called.
terminal microphone. Running adjusted tonal variance processor. Verification complete. User CRV is within acceptable limits.
Special containment procedures. Under no circumstances are Foundation personnel to approach SCP-2316. Observation of SCP-2316 must only be carried out by remote dummy probes utilizing video and audio recording equipment. Only those personnel adequately rated for exposure to cognito-hazardous anomalies may review footage and audio of SCP-2316.
Can't even look at footage of it.
The
God.
lake in which SCP-2316 is located has been quarantined and fenced off, and is to be routinely patrolled by individuals who have not been exposed to SCP-2316 and have no prior knowledge of its characteristics.
You do not recognize the bodies in the water.
Individuals who attempt to bypass the enforced quarantine must be apprehended and moved to Site-33 for a full cognitive influence screening. Individuals who come within 50 meters of the lake containing SCP-2316 are to be considered lost.
Please repeat the following
What
very
happens to
slowly and
them?
clearly into your terminal microphone.
I do not recognize the
Running
bodies in
adjusted
the
tonal
water.
variance processor. Verification complete.
Yay.
User CRV is within acceptable limits.
Description.
Good.
SCP-2316 is the designation for an anomalous phenomenon existing within County. SCP-2316 manifests as a group of human corpses floating in a small group at the surface of the water. The identities of these corpses are,
Cognito hazard removed. Automated change unknown.
though DNA testing has been
Cognito
inconclusive.
hazard removed.
While SCP-2316
Can you not even mention the
appears
name?
to be individual instances,
No.
it is theorized that SCP-2316 may instead be an entity composed of a collective consciousness. Individual instances of SCP-2316 do not act on their own, but do seem to be able to act collectively as a single unit. The individual instances of SCP-2316 are unrecognizable.
You do not recognize the bodies in the water.
SCP-2316 hosts a powerful cognito-hazardous effect, causing those who have viewed SCP-2316, are aware of certain parts of its nature, or who were enrolled in
Cognito hazard removed. Automated message invalid.
to believe that the individual instances of SCP-2316 are human beings they recognize, typically from their childhood. Attempting to come into contact with SCP-2316 instances by way of entering Lake or touching an instance of SCP-2316 will cause other instances of SCP-2316 to appear.
Oh, hell
You
no.
do not recognize the bodies in the water.
The additional instances only serve to reinforce and add to the strength of the cognito hazard, compelling affected individuals into
It's
the
like
lake.
the atmosphere of this one
Individuals
is
who
just
enter the
extra
lake in this
creepy.
way are lost, and to date, none have been recovered. Addendum 2316-1.
The moment you come into contact with them, you get affected by them. You just feel like you just gotta go in. You just gotta drown yourself?
It's not even just touching it. They were saying anyone within, 50 meters or something of that is considered lost.
And they even have to like remove words from the actual report because I guess that also affects people.
That's why I love cognito hazards in SCP, because they just fuck with it, and it's beautiful.
You can't
So
even
much
describe
weird shit
it.
from a cognito hazard.
This actually reminds me a little bit about one of Junji Ito's manga. The one where like the holes appear in the ground after an earthquake that are shaped like the human beings, and then people are just compelled to go to them, right? And then fit
Seeing
through them.
images, I haven't read it.
It compels you to do something that you know you really don't want to, but you just can't stop yourself.
Interview.
Data expired. Error.
Oh.
Unrecognized users. Please log in to view A0 less than verification PI. User CC.
Let me show you their faces?
Begin log.
Did you ever feel compelled to enter the water? Like something was pulling you in? What? No, of course not. There's nothing wrong with them. They didn't drag me in. I saw them in the water and went in myself. I needed to see them. I wanted to hear what they were saying. And my
Sure, buddy.
friends, when you entered the water, what did you see? Faces. My friends. Faces I recognized. Some I didn't, but they became more familiar as I saw them. I'd known them my whole life, but there was something wrong with them. Wrong with them. Like the face of someone you see in a dream, where you can't remember it right. There's something wrong, and the way they're speaking,
They were speaking?
No, that's impossible. They're simply not moving their mouths, but I could hear them, asking for help. They told me. They told me who they were. They told me you knew who they were. That you... Enough of that. You're clearly succumbing to the cognito hazard. We need to get you medical attention, Agent.
100%.
Get your hands off me. I know all their names, Harrison. I heard them speaking to me.
Oh god.
All it takes is one person to see them and tell people, and they'll know what you've been trying to hide. Turn Longwood High School. Subdue them. Get them out of here. Take them to amnestics and turn that goddamn recorder on.
End log. Please repeat the following phrase slowly and clearly into your terminal microphone.
I do not recognize the bodies in the water.
Verification incomplete.
User CRV is not within acceptable limits. User CRV influenced by active cognito hazards. Please stay still. A member of your site's medical staff will be with you shortly. Terminal lockout out.
Addendum 2316 2.
Terminal low 532. You don't have a lot of time. You'll need to get away quickly. Go back to the lake. Go into the water. Look into their eyes. It's your friends, your classmates. You took the trip to the lake in the fall of '75 together when you were young. Don't you remember? Look into their eyes. I know you can hear them talking to you, just like they talk to me. Don't let them tell you it's just a cognito hazard. This is their fault.
They caused this.
We were all innocent kids, don't you remember? And you just got away, you and I. The rest of them are at the bottom of that lake, waiting for us to go back to them and be whole together again. They want us to know. They want us to
remember.
Wake up, goddammit. Remember the fall of '75, the year we were supposed to graduate.
I wasn't even born then, to be honest with you.
They're calling to you. Can you hear them? 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 Can you hear them?
Oh, that does not look good.
Can you hear them?
That seems like the actual entity itself. Oh.
Can you hear them? Can you hear them? Can you hear them?
This is such a different style of video by TheVolgun from what
I know.
we've been reacting to.
Can you hear them? I know you can. Can you hear them? Can you hear them?
What do you call that type of horror? Like the Mandela catalog? I forget.
They're waiting for you.
But yeah, this 100% reminds me of that. Like, just the style and the editing.
Description.
Yeah.
SCP
I don't know when this video came out. The Mandela catalog.
It says around like a year ago.
High School yearbook.
Yeah. Okay.
Belonging to student Carolyn Kirk. The yearbook shows mild wear and use indicative of its age. The front cover of SCP-1833 shows a 3-arrow design with the words Reflections of 76 near the center of the page and KLHS 1976 in the bottom right corner. The back of SCP-1833 is blank, save for a small amount of charring along the spine. An inscription inside the back cover reads, "We've had a great year, haven't we? Don't worry about waiting for the reunion. I'm sure we'll see each other soon enough. Lots of love from all your best friends.
Well, joke's on you. I have no friends. That was certainly something. I think this is also the first cognito hazard that we reacted to as like a standalone video.
Because we watched a few others that had cognito hazards in them. Like the Hang King dealt with it a little bit.
Oh,
And,
yeah. I mean, it does have certain aspects of it, but I suppose this one is
purely
just
a cognito
pure.
hazard. Yeah.
Yeah, like what even is this? They can't even describe it or else we'll be affected by it. I'm guessing it's just some sort of entity that makes you hallucinate, or maybe it doesn't even have to be a physical entity. It's simply just this body of water that makes you hallucinate the dead faces of your
This is
friends.
the kind of things about SCP that I love. Like it doesn't have to tell you. The fact that you don't know is what makes it so much spookier.
There is that horror aspect, right, where a lot of shows kind of get it wrong. Not knowing what the monster looked like is much more horrifying than actually seeing like just the body horror or like some ugly ass monster from the very start of the movie. Yeah, because the human mind just picks up whatever information you have, that it runs it through and it creates the worst possible situation ever. And of course, it's the scariest version of that monster for that particular person. So leaving it unknown is definitely working in its favor.
SCP as a whole is really good at that. And then even just like on the smaller scale, like having all the redacted bits of information and things here and there, it's like it leaves it all to your imagination, and it's a lot of fun.
Alright guys, well, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, check out the playlist if you haven't seen our other SCP reactions, and until next time, we'll see you guys later.
Bye bye.